You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna miss and treat, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break the song, gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting sets, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather around the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to the show. Double applause. We figured by 4 seasons by now we'd have that worked out. Well, we don't. Welcome to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, Season 4, Episode 1. I'm Joe Rad. How you guys doing? And,
Good, man. Good.
Today we have Radical Reggie joining us on the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Happy to be back.
Glad to see you, bud. And even more exciting, believe it or not, Figsy's back, everybody. What's going on with us?
Oh, yeah, what's up, everyone?
Welcome back to the show, man. It's good to see you guys both. This is exciting. This is like a little tradition we got going on now. Episode 1 of each season. Got the crew here.
Right on, man. Right on.
And
So,
I'm in a new game room.
Heck yeah. Oh, you've been busy, man. You've been up to a lot of stuff. I don't know. We've been trying to keep up to date with it. We've been going on. You see our little segment we got going on? We had it. Well, where's Figsy? I don't know. Did you been checking in? I know you've been sending us all those photos.
I've been really busy, guys.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I figured just, maybe just like one last time for the sake of it, just in case people missed it. We could just run through it one more time, just to, everybody sees your little trip you went on. So, Figsy, he decided he was going to become the best GeoGuessr player in the world, and that he had learned all he could learn online, and he needed to go and like see each country in person. So he went to Spain. Yeah, pretty good. Mexico. Yeah. I still love that one because it's got like the stock photo words in the middle of it. France is a good one. Yeah, that was a good one. How did you learn a lot while you were there?
Bonjour.
Went to Antarctica. Pretty sweet. I mean, that actually does look fun. Penguins are awesome. Japan. I mean, you really committed to that one. Got
Yeah,
the
my
top
hair's
knot.
growing back painfully.
Yeah, that was done that. Well, you also had that wig for a while. So this is still probably my favorite, although it does give me nightmares at the same time. And then Russia, of course.
It's pretty dangerous, man. Living dangerous.
Quite opposite though.
The bare essentials.
Yeah, so you know that question like that they've been asking women, like, would you rather be with the bear or a dude? Like, nah, if you're in Russia, you get both. So be careful, ladies. Italy, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty good. I still like how you like grow in height and shrink. And Germany, that was a good one. Yeah, the old UK. I don't know what's going on with this one. Your head looks a little weird. You also, I'll be honest, man. You need to do some curls. Like, you got some noodle arms. Geez, how many of these are there? Good lord. Then we have Switzerland. There you go. You see this, you could tell by Switzerland you had like jacked up a little bit. You were working out. I mean,
I took that curl.
I mean, that's just
by Switzerland.
That's just oh my goodness. And then there was actually a couple I don't think I ever got to show because I'm just not good. There was that when you were India, looking pretty good. I'm enjoying this one quite a bit. And we just got one more, guys. You went to China as well. This one's kind of fire, to be honest with you. Yeah, I kind of like this. You kind of look like an anime
China,
character.
but it looks like a European city.
Yeah, you're kind of right. It's like it's the parade in like Belgium. Or
Well,
something.
no, they do that in China. They build fake European cities in China. There's like a fake Paris and things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like full like cities like no one lives in too. Like they built cities and like they're like empty. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's like cities for the future, like predicting the population to go up. So they'll build a city now and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't do stuff like that here.
Yeah, we don't.
Here we're just like, no, it's $57,000 to live in this shoebox, nothing included. And
they do stuff like that in the States. It's
I
just
know.
not buildings. It's just like, all right, we're going to predict the population to rise. Let's put a parking lot in there and a parking lot in there.
That's right. We need 5 Dunkin' Donuts, 12 Wendy's, 5 pawn shops, 10 tattoo parlors. That's pretty much how we plan here. Pretty good stuff. So anyway, how you guys been, man? Let's I mean, Reggie, it's been a long time. I feel like no, I'm just kidding. It's been a few days.
Well, it feels like a long time for season 4 to start, man. Nothing really much. Obviously, it's the 4th of July. Happy to hear all the fireworks going on outside, but it is pretty scary because you don't know what you're going to hear out there. It sounds like gunfire, tank fire, all kind of stuff. So I had to close the door. Been playing some games. I bought Alone in the Dark, the new one for the PS5 yesterday. And I actually beat the first person's game today, right? Like a couple minutes before the podcast started. So
Nice.
I'm looking to probably replay it, but I want to see if it's worth it because like the second playthrough seems the same. So I'm like, I don't know. You know, there's no different paths or nothing like that. So we'll see. But it has multiple endings, so maybe that'll pull me in. I don't know. But other than that, nothing much, man. Just collecting games as usual. Lots of gaming news going on. Happy to have Figsy back. Finally, he's back, which is awesome.
Yeah, Figsy, you want to tell us what you actually were doing? Or like how you been?
Well, I mean, what Joe was saying wasn't too far away from the truth. It might have been stretching a little bit.
I mean, I think those photos were pretty accurate. They might have been a little conceptualized.
What's it been, 2 or 3 months since I've been on the show? Something like that.
Feel like it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the last couple of months, I put my house up for sale, sold my house, and I moved 3,000 kilometers across the country to Melbourne to a new place with all the games and the dog in a truck. We drove in like 4 days. It was pretty fun.
Wow.
Yeah, sold all the shelves, built new shelves. As you can see, there's different color in this room. I've got some photos I'll show you guys soon. But on top of that, GeoGuessr was a big part of this. I got an invite to the Asian and Pacific qualifiers for the GeoGuessr World Cup. So I've been grinding pretty hard playing GeoGuessr, doing my best for that. And I participated in an online tournament. It was an online one-on-one with the devs. So I participated in like a set of challenges that they gave me. There was like 25 other players that got this invite, and 5 of them got invited to go to Sweden. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, but it's pretty cool to be all part of that. But in the meantime, like I was selling my house and everything, so it was probably a good thing that I didn't make it. But yeah, we're in the new house. I sold my car, bought a new car, completely done up the game room, paid off a lot of my debts. It's been really good. I'll show you guys some photos of what it's looking like. So the games are sort of separated into 3 rooms now. We have the game room, which is the biggest room. So we have 2 shelves here for PS3 games. And then we have PS4.
Oh, we got to be buying more PS4, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Empty shelves means new games in the future. And then we have PS1 and PS2.
Yeah. Ooh.
That looks so good.
And
there we go.
Consoles.
Nice.
Bear with me 1 second.
That Metal Gear Solid one I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, that's the Japanese one. That one there's a PAL Japanese and a North American, but the Japanese one actually has Metal Gear Solid imprinted on the console itself, which is pretty
Right
cool.
on.
We have some collector's editions.
Sonic Generations, nice. I saw that a couple of years ago at a convention. I passed on it.
Yeah, I had it up for sale, but then I pulled it down, and I really love it. It's one of those things.
It's cool.
I bought a new telly. I haven't had a TV for years. I've been gaming on monitors, so
oh man,
a 65-inch TV for my PS5, and I mean, actually play PS5 games on 4K for the first time, which is pretty cool.
Dude, that's like the same one I have, man. Awesome. Yeah, 4K.
Yeah, it's pretty good price too. This is what I got behind me here. So we have PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 boxed items over here. And then we've got Nintendo on the right. Probably focusing on Nintendo at the moment and kind of PS1 collecting. And PS4 as the rest of the shelves are kind of full. And then I bought a glass shelf to display Holy Grails. So
nice.
Some nice stuff in there. Pretty happy with how
Catherine?
everything's going so far. The dog's happy down here. It's pretty cold. I got like a jumper on, followed by another jumper and a shirt, and like under layers and a beanie, and central heating's on right now.
Dude, that Catherine you got, that I didn't know that was pretty rare over there. The pizza box one.
So this one is sealed. That's probably what makes it a little bit more rare.
Okay.
But yeah, it's completely different to the one you guys got. I think one of them came with boxer shorts or underwear or something. But they are different, the two collector's editions. This one goes. Same with that Metal Gear Solid, where the North American one doesn't actually have the figure. That's the limited edition over in the States.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those types of cases. I need to get one of those too. My roommate moved out, and I have this whole other room over here now. And I had it, it's been a work office for like a week or two, but I think it's time to put some stuff in there. So I was gonna get like a nice cabinet, just like not too crazy, but like I wanted to get something like that so I could put all my VR headsets, like my PS4 VR or PSVR, my VR2 and my Quest, just have them like all out.
Now I don't live in the middle of nowhere. I'm like an hour or less than an hour away from an IKEA shop. So I'm like looked online for glass shelves and found the IKEA one and went, I'll just drive there in the morning. Went and picked it up. And yeah, it's pretty cool being not in the middle of nowhere.
Right on.
Yeah. So I'm like kind of in the opposite situation where I live in like a town that's getting too big and I want to move kind of the middle of nowhere, not too far. It's all a question of how good the internet is. Like I can't live without bad. Like I have to have good internet at least. Yeah. And I do want to be like, I don't know, somewhere kind of near a hospital. I just feel like that's a comforting thought. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I live in New England where it snows and shit. Like I don't want to be like an hour away from a hospital. What if it's in a freaking blizzard or something? I'm like, I'm dead. I'm never gonna make that. At least now it's like 15 minutes tops. So.
Oh my God, Joe, good internet. I used to have 100 megabytes a second. Now I'm getting close to a gigabyte a second and like 50 megabytes upload speed a second. It's insane. And I'm paying $10 more. Like, how does that work? 10 times for $10 more.
Quality of life improvements are nice. I got my new PC. I told you that. Nice. And remember, the main reason I actually got it was, I'll probably do a little gaming on it, I'm sure, but that's not why I really bought it. I bought it for editing and for making videos and stuff, because like when I would try to export like this little Star Ocean background, it would take like 15 minutes on my computer. Oh, wow. And like, it was so old, dude. Like the thing is just, I had like a 760 for graphics, a GPU. It's like, it was ancient, man. So anyway, my new computer, it's just like everything's instantaneous and it feels so good. I'm just like, oh, let me get the show set up. Boop, everything's set up. I'm like, oh man, that was nice. I'm gonna actually go eat something. It's great.
Well,
huge improvement.
I didn't realize how much of it was not a computer issue, but it was actually just slow internet. A lot of things. Now it's like, oh, that's done. Oh, this is uploaded. This is already done. It's so cool.
Thank you, Joel. You read my mind.
I was going to mention, Joe, when you mentioned gaming on PC, I think that's a funny term to mention because Like 99% of the games I play on PC, or probably 95, are all old games that we work on, like old laptops, let alone like needing, 4090s to run them, let alone like 1080s or anything.
Well, true. I mean, that's the first thing I said to my girlfriend. I was like, "Nice, now I can play Binding of Isaac and have 240 hertz." Woo! It's like it's like a flash game, you know what I mean? But yeah. But that's why I bought System Shock, because I wanted to have like at least something that newish that looks cool. And that game looks gorgeous. So
Yeah.
although I got dude, yeah, man. Like I'm not gonna. I'm a little embarrassed at how long it took me to get out of the med station, the very first section. Like I found everywhere to go and I cleared everything, but I was like too stupid to realize you're supposed to blow up the little things at the end.
Well, it's not even obvious, man. I just happened to just be swinging the wrench and it damaged something. Boom.
Well, that's the thing. I did smash them a few times and they didn't blow up. So I was like, oh, because you have to like actually like sit there and hit them like 4 or 5, 6 times or something to get them to break. And I'm just
did they make a noise when you touched them?
So so there's that in that game. It's all about they put like voice messages to tell you what to do and like little like data messages that tell you what to do. And to be fair, the map put like little yellow circles on them. And so like I kept saying, I'm like, this gotta mean something. And that's why I was messing around looking for. So I went in that room like 20 times. That's why I'm embarrassed, trying to figure out what to do. And then like finally I was just like shooting them. I got mad like a child. I'm like, stupid game, and it blew up. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what you're supposed to do. What the hell? So anyway, I finished that.
Looking it up. That's still,
I'm stubborn. I don't know about you guys, but I hate looking stuff up. Like I don't. Like I will, like if I get stuck and I can't figure it out, I'll look stuff up. But like it pisses me off sometimes when I have to. So I try not to if I can help it.
See, I'll look different things up. Like I'm playing Elden Ring right now, and I'm playing the DLC and returning to it. And I don't look up stuff when I get stuck, but I'll look up stuff like, say I'm fighting a boss, I'll look up what the boss's strengths and weaknesses are, so I can use those items and fight the boss how it was intended and things like that. But
I looked up tons of shit when I played Elden Ring. I'm not gonna fucking even pretend like I didn't. I don't. That's different. You got to learn what the builds mean and all the like. You need a plan going in there. Like if you just go into those games trying to figure it out on your own, I think you're gonna be in for like a long, arduous journey. Like you might be able to.
I find that's part of the satisfaction in those games is working it out yourself.
No, dude, that's that. Anyway, like I don't know. I feel like Elden Ring is almost like arrogantly cryptic, like in Demon Souls and stuff like that. Like, there's no way I would ever have figured out like the light and dark affinity crap in Demon Souls on my own. Like I wouldn't even have like noticed.
That's me long ago. I can't even think what they called it.
I'm not sure. I just know like it was like you could make the game light or dark, and like I don't even know. All I know is that like the way I figured it out is because I accidentally killed an NPC and ruined my playthrough and couldn't do something, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I looked it up, and someone explained to me, and I'm like, "Oh, I ruined my game immediately when I started. Damn it!" So yeah. So
when I first played that, Joe, I got stuck for 20 hours on that first level because I put myself in that like hardest black straight away by dying 5 times with full health, and just thought I was bad at the game. Returned like after I beat other Souls games and beat the first level in the first try. Like mind blowing,
Yeah, that's what I mean, and it's not like particularly clear what's going on.
That's what it's called.
So when I say I hate looking stuff up, not always. There are some games where I'm like, yeah, no. The first game that I felt that way was back when I played Resident Evil. That was the first time I bought a guide in my life, was for Resident Evil 2, because when I played Resident Evil 1, my God, I could not figure out what to do when I was a kid. I was really young when I played that, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I don't even think I could beat that game. So when 2 came out, I was like, I'm getting the guide. I don't care. No shame. I'm like, I want to know what to do.
Those guides, even though there are lost art today because you don't really see too many strategy guides being made. I mean, they help kind of like make the experience smooth. If you're stuck on something too long and you want to move along, but most people will probably like move on to something else. But with a guide, it kind of guides you into that area where, okay, this is what you need to do, figure things out, and you're good to go. Like a game that you definitely need a guide in is something like a Alondra. If you guys ever played Alondra, it's like a Zelda game for the PS1. And those puzzles are so cryptic, man. You don't even know you're in a puzzle sometimes, which is insane. And then to come to find out, the people from Working Designs made the game harder for us in America, so they messed some things up. So, yeah, it's annoying to know that. I just found that out recently. So Project Games Retro is actually bringing out a refined version of Alondra out on their Instagram. So it'll be the Japanese version in English, and it'll play more like the Japanese version, thankfully. But strategy guides, man.
They did that with Lunar too. Same thing, right?
Same thing with Lunar. Exactly.
That's cool.
But strategy guides, I still have quite a few of them because I have just the memories of them, like a Star Ocean strategy guide. I was trying to unlock all the endings back in the day, which I wasn't able to until recently, thankfully. But they're just really well put together, man. So I love the art style they have to them, the way they kind of put things together. It's just really nice to have certain ones, I would say.
It's crazy how obsolete they became so quickly, though, because today...
Thanks to the game facts and the internet, yeah.
YouTube tutorials, YouTube guides.
Yeah.
That's it. Where you're not going to read about how to do a level when you can watch someone do it and hear them talk over the top. It's such a completely different thing. But yeah, we were reading those guides back in the day. And not just that, I remember like cheat guide books and things like that, but that can't be done today because most of these games are all online experiences, and you can't be cheating at online games. It just doesn't work. So that goes over well.
Turner asks, is anyone excited for the return of Dead Rising?
I was talking to Will about this, and I wasn't really excited about it. Will's super excited. I guess he likes Dead Rising. I just want them to move on with the story. There could be only so many times you can remake the first one, and then I want the story to move on. Like we should have Dead Rising 5, but then again, to bring interest back in the Dead Rising series because they feel like Dead Rising 4 flopped, they got to go back to the first one and make sure people are interested in it, which is easy to remake that one or do whatever to it, and see if there's interest in it. Then maybe we'll get a sequel or a couple of remakes in the sequel. Who knows? But I'm not gonna pick it up because I've already played that game to death. I'm good at the mall, man. It's time to move on to something else for me, and just let everybody know out there who's watching. They have 2 Dead Rising movies that are really good. They premiered on Crackle. I know Crackle was a free streaming service back. I think it's called something else now. But if you ever see Dead Rising on DVD or you see it streaming, definitely give it a watch. They are good movies.
Dead Rising's interesting because the first time I played Dead Rising, it was so much fun. But then you play another one and it feels the same. And, it's hard to innovate on an idea that's,
been beat up so much. It's like, man, what else do you do? I see what you're saying. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I wish Capcom success. I mean, they're on fire with the remakes. Obviously, the Resident Evil remakes have been doing really well. They got the fighting games going strong. So Capcom is definitely a company I want to see them succeed in bringing stuff out. So
I gotta say, Capcom right now is like S tier as far as like honoring their catalog. Like they act. Yeah, I'm baffled why more companies don't do that. Konami did a little bit with Limited Run. They did some, the Castlevania collections, Contra collections, and stuff like that. So
Metal Gear Solids and things like that.
With Limited Run, I remember they had them publish it, but it was good that they put that stuff together, though.
Yeah, like I said, like I appreciate having the games ported to modern consoles. I really do. I think it's cool, and I just like companies that like appreciate their history like that, and like Capcom's doing it right. They're doing the remakes, they're doing compilations, they're bringing ports over games we never got, Japanese games, stuff like that. Like it's really cool. I'm digging it. I just need that arcade collection I was talking about.
The Marvel versus Capcom one.
No, I want that full one they have. They have this like massive arcade collection.
The Stadium one?
Switch. Yeah, the Stadium one. Yep.
Wait till that gets a physical, which will happen.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I've been waiting. And then they also need to do a physical for the new Ghouls and Ghosts games. Like, I'm just shocked that hasn't happened yet. Like, I really am, like, shocked. I'm like, why? Like, I just feel like that's printing money.
True.
Well, especially when they do a physical and it's a completion of like 4 or 5 games that are all, you know, expensive in their own right. And it's like, sweet, it feels like I'm getting such a good deal buying this, you know.
Well, that's why I want the Mega Man Legends with Tron collection. Give me that, please. I would love that. Just all on one disc. Yeah, just all you gotta do. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just HDify him, give him a little reskin, throw him on a disc. That's it. I don't need him to be all fancy.
Yeah, just get them ready to go, man. A little history behind them, art, a little as extras and things like that. You know, they could make it happen. I mean, I think they're working on something. I'm not sure, but obviously they just did the Mega Man Network collection together, so I'm pretty sure they got something else going on. But hopefully that'll be the next one. That would be the only next one they could do because they're all Mega Man.
Everything else, yeah, they've done it all. So, yeah, that's what I'm.
They're not going to put all the Mega Man games out once. I feel sorry. You may know for a fact that they can put one out at a time, and they're going to sell. You know, I'd love for them to do them all at once.
Neil says, "I wish Konami would bring over the Simpsons arcade, X-Men arcade, and any others that got delisted." Yeah, so that's what these are another ones that like.
Yeah,
I'm a little baffled by. I mean, I'm assuming it has something to do with licensing. They'd have to pay.
Yeah,
the Simpsons people or Alien versus Alien versus Predator, the Simpsons, and X-Men. Like they should be released. I mean, obviously, think how successful the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games were. It'd just be no brainer. So. We'd love to see those as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just it'll cost us more than what we're going to make. So what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, will it? I mean, I don't know.
They would have to kind of find a way to get like all of those licenses together to make it worth it for them. So they could like just, I don't know, make a compilation of the beat 'em ups. And because one of the best ones, Joe, is that nobody talks about is actually Bucky O'Hare, the arcade game. You know, that I would love to see that as on a compilation. That's probably one of the best, definitely up there with one of the best beat 'em up games of all time. And it acts as a prequel to the cartoon series that came on. So in order to get the final episode of that series, you got to play the arcade game, which is like a lot darker than the series was. So yeah, they need to work on something like that, getting some kind of compilation together, man. But Konami is just like they won't do it unless someone else is doing something similar. And they can kind of like leech off of that idea. Like an example is Uden Chronicles, right? They got 2 games coming out, like kind of related to this Suikoden series. Now they see that they're putting that out. Oh, let's put a compilation together of our own, which they're doing right now. And they wouldn't have done it if that game didn't even catch steam on Kickstarter. You know, so that's how they do their business these days. I remember that's how they always
got it announced like 3 years ago at this point, and we still haven't seen it. So.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? They said this year, and like, what's the hold up? So it's like, yeah.
What's up, JRPG? How you guys doing?
JRPG Life, what's going on? Hopefully you guys found that game. They were looking for this last rare game. Well, I don't say it's rare, but it's a PS1 game. It's called Beyond, I think, RPG. You guys heard of that one? It's like this old, yeah. That was the last one they were looking for with a manual inside of it. But hopefully you guys found that.
Yeah, there's a never-ending amount of RPGs to go.
I haven't heard of it, but I'm not surprised because the North American PAL PS1 libraries are so different. Beyond the Beyond. Oh, okay, that does sound familiar.
That game has so many random encounters, man. It's so annoying. But if you get past that, well, you can get past that with a Game Shark. You could cut the load times in half, which is nice. Not the load times, but the random encounters. Excuse me.
Picked it up in SoCal. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, they had one in SoCal. Wow, right on.
John said, did you talk about Ease 10 yet? No, but we can.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
That's right around the corner. I'm pretty excited. Joel's still here. He's a big Ease fan. They haven't announced a collector's edition for it, which I'm kind of surprised about, you know. But I don't know. I guess I don't really care about that. I always want the game to get here, so it's going to be here in a couple of months. I'll be able to play it and enjoy it. I really enjoyed Ease 8 and 9. Do you guys remember those collector's editions for the Ease 8 and 9?
Yeah, I got those.
How outstanding they are! Like and they were only $100 when they came out. $100, And
Yeah, worth it.
My only issue is that you can't tell the PS4 and the Vita copies apart because they don't say PS4 or Vita on them.
Or
They
PS5.
You can't
They're all
actually-
the same.
Well, the PS5 is actually slightly different. The
Oh.
scroll in it is someone told me it was smaller or something like that. So they went cheaper with the PS5 one, I think. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
I heard that that one has all the DLC though, and I heard that the PS4 one does not.
Yeah, the PS5 one has all the content that was included as DLC, so that's what makes that version worth getting. Wow, you guys make me want to play that game again.
Hell yeah! No, I'm really excited about 10. I'll be honest. I'm gonna double dip. I'm getting the deluxe edition or whatever, and then I'll get the collector's edition too if they announce it. No doubt. Because I don't want to. Yeah, I have the other one sealed. I'm not opening that one either. I'm gonna keep them all sealed, and then I have loose copies too, or open copies.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then did you guys see that the Oath of Felghana has got an announcement on the Switch?
And PS5.
Is it PS5 too? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that.
It's weird though to skip the PS4 to the PS5 for that type of game. They just want to. They don't want to sell anything on PS4 anymore because they think people aren't going to buy it. But that's their biggest fan base, though. They have a lot of people don't have a PS5 yet, so. But it's just something they're doing.
Crazy mentality because if you release it on PS4, PS5 owners will buy it as well. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I still always try to get the PS4 version, if I can. I just prefer it. And
I've noticed it's a lot harder to get PS4 versions of games than PS5 versions.
What I'm always confused about is the pricing on them. Like it's still silly to me how sometimes the PS4 copy is more expensive, sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes the PS5 is more expensive, sometimes it's cheaper. I don't know. It just seems to be like whatever one I want is more expensive. I swear.
Same with the Switch. Sometimes the Switch version will be expensive, but then occasionally it'll be a cheap game on the Switch and like $38 on the PS4 and PS5. It's like what's
now the Oath of Felghana, is that just the PSP port? Is it the PSP game?
It's a Steam port, so they added some extra features on the Steam port. So okay. I don't know exactly what it was, but it's the best version of it. So that's nice. But at the same time, I would have liked like maybe an upgrade in graphics, kind of like similar to Ease 8 and those other ones. But hey, I'm good with it, I guess.
I don't know who this guy is, but he says nobody likes the E series because it's
Johnny. Johnny is the one that put everybody onto it, dude. Like he's like, yeah, he's typing Ease in YouTube, and Johnny, one of Johnny's videos will pop up. 100%.
That's true. Yeah, he's like, I own all these collector's editions. This is your fault to begin with.
But
stop by, man.
Just happy East is getting some love, man. So I mean, more people need to know about it because it's still kind of like I hate to say it's kind of niche to a lot of people like know about Zelda games and things like that. Like they never heard of Ease. Like what? Really? Like this game's amazing. You know,
it almost needs to sell like Tales of Arise to become like mainstream JRPG, you know, game of the year or something like that.
Yeah. Tales of Arise, I still haven't beat that game. I'm at the end and I still haven't picked it up again. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed.
That game is great, man. That was like when I got my PS5 and my new TV, that was like one of the games I'm like, I want something that looks insane. Like I want something that looks just out of this world. That game satisfied that. It looks so good. Yeah, dude. Amazing. Dude. Figsy, you just got a TV, that new TV 4K. You should play that game. Looks incredible.
Well, I'm playing Elden Ring, and I'm like, Elden Ring didn't look like this when I played it on my 10-inch monitor.
Now that you died screen looks like super clear. It's amazing.
Again, what blows me away is I never got the horror vibes that Elden Ring brings when you got a big TV and loud sounds because I was just playing it with YouTube videos playing in the background and blah 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 casually. It's like a completely different experience. I got scared the other night in the dungeon. I'm like, oh shit, better put my lantern on. It's dark in here.
Yeah, so I got like the new TV and I got like the big stereo and And I got this thing called a girlfriend, and she don't let me use none of that. It sucks. Too loud, turn it down.
You have the surround sound kind of set
Yeah,
up.
I got. Oh yeah, I got the. And I mounted those speakers. I got the subwoofer.
Dude, it's amazing when you like have it like that, dude. Because these games will trip you out. Like you'll hear like footsteps behind you in one speaker or whatever like that. It's just enhances the experience. It's like going to a movie theater pretty much. But yeah, I still remember playing Silent Hill like that, dude. I'll never do that again. But dude, it was just so trippy back in the day. You know, Silent Hill is not a game really you could like. I could recommend to people play it. You know, like it's a scary experience, man. Like, will you enjoy it? Well, if you enjoy being scared, yeah. But at the same time, I don't like being really scared anymore. So it's like, I'm good. But I found out that somebody actually made. Well, they made a Silent Hill remake on PC, and I think it's like a demo. Like it only goes to a certain point, but it looks good. But at the same time, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play this again, dude. I'll just watch somebody else do it because I remember the horrors I went through playing through that game. It's like it's just unnerving. You know, it's playing Silent Hill and a Resident Evil game is very different when it comes to like how you feel like with scares and everything like that. Like Silent Hill, you never feel comfortable at all. Resident Evil, okay, you could take a minute and think the world's not going to change around you or anything like that, so you're good to go. But yeah,
and when they like no pause button type of play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys excited for the remake of that?
I mean,
2.
I mean, I wish they would have chose 1 over 2. 2 has been beat up. 2 is everybody's favorite. It's never been my favorite, but I thought it was a good game. But part 1 is the one that deserves it more. 2 is the best-selling one in the series, so I guess they're just trying to play it safe. But they could have just really did part 1, but they wanted to play it safe because they wanted to go with the safer bet, which is part 2. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up for not for those $70 either. I wait till it becomes 20 Black Friday, you know, and I'll be ready to play it around that time maybe. But I think part 1 really deserved it. Part 3 is my favorite because it's a continuation of part 1 story, which is nice, which you don't get with a lot of games these days. And part 4, that should just stay on the PS2 and Xbox, unless they fix the balancing and the pacing in that game. There's too much backtracking in Silent Hill 4. Man, it's a good game, but backtracking is horrible.
I don't think they're gonna keep remaking them. I feel like if they've decided to do 2, they'll probably just do 2.
Yeah, because I think the company who made part 2 that did the remake, they're getting kind of like a lot of backlash for the way the characters look. So a lot of people are like, oh, like what's going on here? But that game was just so good at the time, man. I mean, how do you really remake it? You know what I mean? What could they have done better in that game? You know what I mean? Besides graphics.
What's funny is the controversy. Everybody was like, "Oh, the girl's wicked ugly," and I was like, when I watched it, I was like, "Why is that dude weird looking?" That was my thought. I didn't even notice the girl. I was like, "This dude looks weird," but I just assumed that they used like real actors this time. Like I that was my guess. I'm like, maybe they hired actors and they just made them look like the actors, and they just happened to be kind of weird looking. That was just as far as I went with it. I didn't realize. I didn't really put much thought into it, but
yeah.
I kind of agree with what Reggie was saying. Like, if you look at the first HD remake they did, it was kind of terrible. Yeah. So expectations have sort of disappeared because of that. I feel like they're just doing this to maybe gauge interest. If there's interest in doing a new title, like wouldn't that make sense for Silent Hill 5?
Right. So, you know, this is the funny thing, Figsy. So, obviously, the Silent Hill series was made. The first 4 games were made by the Team Silent, pretty much. And ever since Team Silent kind of like disbanded, you got Silent Hill Homecoming, which they were going to call Silent Hill 5 until they said, yeah, we better play it safe. So they just called it Homecoming. That game was kind of like off. And then we got Origins, which was kind of trying to do what Silent Hill 1 did. It kind of failed a little bit, but it's still a pretty solid game. Then we got Downpour, which I actually like Downpour, even though those weird police cars that stalk you in that game are hilarious. But they have the habit of just not getting the old team back together to get that spark. They just hire these other companies that want to make a Silent Hill game. It ends up being something that's not really Silent Hill. It's like something weird. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve with this, with some more sequels after this one. Maybe. I mean, I just feel like
they announced a bunch of games, didn't they? Because there was that really short one that came out, right?
It was a free one. I played that one. That one was
I didn't bother because I heard it was like a couple hours, and I was just like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it don't even have a trophy system either. I was looking, hey, let me get a trophy for this. They didn't give you nothing. I don't want to go into that one, man. It's lame. But Resident Evil has really kept up doing good sequels in side games. So Silent Hill has not, unfortunately. So I just feel like the love is kind of gone for the series. You know, I don't think the Silent Hill 2 is going to really bring it back. You know, everybody's kind of moved on to something else.
I mean, the team are almost shooting themselves in the foot by assembling a new team and trying to get them to make
starting over. Yeah,
because even if they make a really good product, if it's not what the fans want, no one's going to like it and going to hate on this really good product. Where if they make a new IP, it might
people would never do that. What are you talking about? Everybody's really nice. Sorry.
It's like you've got these unreal expectations because you know the original games were so good. So you have to. It'd be like if they had a new team made GTA 6 or something, you know.
Yeah, it's just really weird, man. Because Team Silent, from what I heard, they were kind of like the misfits in the group in the company. So they just put them in their own department and they put them together and they were able to come out with Silent Hill, which was a hit. But I don't think they were really treated well. You know, they stayed on and did a couple more projects before disbanding. One of them actually made the Siren series. I don't know what the other ones did, but they just kind of disbanded. But they never got those guys back together. And to have that same, I don't know, not drive, but the same formula that made something really special, they got to have some of the original people back together because that's how. That's how it's going to work. You bring newer people in there, man. It's going to bring like too many newer people. They're going to want to do their own thing, and it takes away from what Silent Hill is going to be. And the example we got of that is Silent Hill Homecoming, and all Silent Hills after Homecoming, pretty much. Even though I like some of the ones after Homecoming, I even like Shattered Memories, which I thought that was fun, and I even like Downpour, which I know I'll get a lot of slack for that, but.
Who cares? I like games that people don't like. But I think you bring up just a good point in general. I feel like it's called like, I don't know what to call it, artist syndrome or something, where like you bring in a new group of people and they always say, well, I can make this better. I can make it the way people, my vision is going to be much superior to the way it was. And I don't understand that. It's like, I've never understood that. Like George R. R. Martin actually came out and like roasted Hollywood for being like that, for being like, all these directors and writers, they all think they know better than the people who write these popular franchises and they destroy everything. And they're right. He's right. He's right. Like I've always never understood the logic of like finding something that's extremely popular. Everyone likes it. And you go, you know what we're going to do? Let's change everything about it. Like, what the fuck? Why? That doesn't make any sense. You have a home run. You have a winning formula. You have the secret KFC recipe to the chicken that everybody wants to eat. And then you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Woo. Let's just make it. Woo. I never understood the logic. Now, obviously, when you're adapting books to film or whatever, you have to change some stuff or whatever. Like, I get it, but like, I don't know, man. Sometimes they just take it too far and they just change too much, and it's tough. Like,
right.
It's tough. Like, I'm a huge Wheel of Time fan. Like, I love Wheel of Time, and the show was just like, come on, guys, what are we doing here? Like, it's like mildly similar to the story, sort of. Like, what are we doing? Why would you do this? Why? Actually, I wanted to know, have you seen Slitterhead? You guys, I've heard of it coming out. It's a new horror game, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if you guys have.
No, what's that about? Like somebody just a killer coming after you or something? Survival horror.
Yeah, I'm guessing he has some sort of strange head.
Survival horror to me today, I feel like a lot of them try to go safe with playing like first person survival horror game, but I like being able to see my character when it comes to survival horror games. So there's nothing that really like impressed me so far that's coming out for survival horror games. A lot of them are going to be released on Steam first, so it'll take a while for them to reach consoles. And I don't have a problem. My computer's not really savvy to be playing Steam games on it. It barely runs as it is, so I gotta see those games later, I guess. But yeah. Oh, Figsy, he's gone again. But yeah, man. I don't know, dude. It's survival horror just doesn't have what it brought to me back in the day. I did enjoy the Resident Evil remake and things like that. Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake sucked, but I don't know. We're just not getting enough of them to where they really bring a lot of people in, I would say. least
I've
it's
heard-
not
More to me, Reggie screams early access on Steam because that's what like 90% of them are.
really.
I've got games that I bought years ago that are still in early access, and they're like survival
Yeah.
games.
They can't get them out. They can't get the games out the door, and it sucks, man. You know, and then
It's like
people just end up forgetting about them.
0.95421.
I've heard
Yeah.
good things about that Still Wakes the Deep game. So which I'm
Really?
gonna show that off later in the. I got that in my pickup. So
Okay.
I really like survival games, so it's hard to do a really good survival game. There's so many of them out there. I feel like so many of them start off good, but just it's hard to keep someone hooked in there when it's not an MMO or something.
Yeah, I saw one. It looked interesting, and then I didn't know what it was until like of course the title at the end, but it was a trailer for State of Decay Part 3, and I was like, man, this game looks great, man. This is a great horror game. And then like I saw State of Decay 3, and I'm like, damn, dude, like, am I gonna really get this game? Like, it's just, I don't know.
I mean, in State of Decay 1, like I put 50 hours into it. It was a great game, but
Really?
like it felt like an early access game. And then I didn't play number 2, but I heard good things about number 2.
Yeah, Part 1. I remember I got stuck in a glitch, and my dude was leveled up, and I was good to go, but I got killed in the glitch, and I had to start over with a new character. I was like, man, you guys ain't doing this to me, man. I was hurt by that, and I never picked that game up again. But even as a part of the gameplay,
the game like Rust.
no, I haven't.
See, Rust is obviously it's an online game, and you know the community's pretty toxic. But if you just take the survival instinct of the game, like it's one of the best survival games out there. Amazing.
Really?
Like it's hard to find a single player game that gives you those experiences. But I suppose some of the experiences come along with being an online game and things like that. Yeah, 7 Days to Die is pretty simple, as Jeremiah brought up.
I actually just I ordered Grounded from Limited Run. I'm waiting for my copy to come in to try that out. Looks really fun. That's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Basically, you're like a little in the backyard or something.
Yeah. Really?
Like a fun. Yeah, it looks. I mean, that's what I was relating it to. It looks super fun. Did you guys see that Limited Run announced Layers of Fear on PS5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really a rare game on the PS4 for a while. Is that what was going on with that game?
Yeah, I haven't checked the price lately, but it was extremely expensive for a while. It was like $300 to $400-ish. I'm gonna say
Really?
something like that. Yeah, it was very expensive for a while. I'm actually. Let me take a look. See what it's going for these days.
It was a limited run PS4 game, right?
Yeah, and it was actually one of their earlier games. So I feel like it was one of those ones that like people weren't like didn't know a lot about like Limited Run in general when it came out. So I'm curious how if this is going to tank the value on it.
It's got to because people will buy it.
Oh yeah, it's way cheaper now. It's like
blah blah blah.
brand new. It's like 180, 160. I've seen a couple of them sealed, so it's definitely come down.
There's a copy here that sold for $70 in auction, which is like $50 US.
Oh, and then yeah, it looks like it got a Switch release too. I wonder when that happened. I didn't even know that happened. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. So if you are someone who was trying to get that game and you don't want to pay really expensive prices, you can get the PS5 copy at least.
Mm.
But just, as from a collecting standpoint, like this one, that won't be worth as much as the PS4 one. There's no way, just because it's more, like a lot of people will probably buy it. Like it's always like the newer version. I feel like will never be as valuable as the first version. You know what I mean? Even if the first version takes a hit.
Yeah, it's always the way, but it'll be it's like a mentality thing. Like you still own a version of the game, so like, do you really need the other version?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just it's worth a little bit more money.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a PS4 set, like
Is it really a game that really deserves to be on the PS5? Is it really going to help? Like, are they going to do something graphically different with the PS5 version?
No, dude. This is just more money. This is them just mining. I've said that as soon as PS5 came out, I'm like, all Limited Run Games is going to do now is re-release. Because after what they did with Shantae and everything, they just started release. I'm like, they're going to do that with all of their really popular games. They're just going to re-release them up as a PS5.
Well, the games that will never get reprinted.
Well, they are reprinting them technically, but but they will put Night Trap on 17 different platforms.
Yeah,
That's
still
definitely
unplayable.
for collectors because, yeah, if you're sitting out there wanting to buy these games and then you can get a chance to buy them for retail again, I think that's a good thing always.
Hey, they're a company that's trying to make money. It is what it is. I ain't mad about it. I just laugh because I just know it's coming. But that's just part of like collecting PS4 and PS5 is sketch because it's like so. I don't know. I just wouldn't buy really expensive games during this life cycle unless
Right.
you're like 100% sure it's not getting reprinted or a PS5 version's
not
coming out or
getting
something
reprinted.
like that. But it's just happens, man. Like, did you guys?
Godzilla's getting one
Well,
out there.
it happened with Ashante. I had the DS 3DS version. I think it's called Pirates Revenge. It was published by Rystar Games. And limited run said we have one more 3DS game coming out. It's a surprise. Everything is a new game. It's not as a reprint of Ashante, Pirates Curse or whatever it's called. And I was
It's
like, wow,
on-
dude.
on multiple platforms, you know.
Yeah, I like, man.
For 5 years, that's not a new game.
Exactly. So man, what's going on here? But I don't know. It's just really.
As you guys
Really?
know, I haven't bought any limited run games or any really games in my collection for like the last year or so because I was struggling financially a bit and getting ready to sell my house and everything, so I didn't buy any games. Anyway, since then I went back and got on like Video Games Plus and Play Asia, and I've bought most of the limited run games that I missed over the last year or so. And I was
So you
really
can buy them from there.
Yeah, every single one I was able to buy for retail except Persona 3 and 4. So I'm going to try and track those down to a reasonable price. But like 2 games for a year and a half isn't that bad. I was able to get the Asian copy of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster for retail and a lot of other games that I was after. I was able to get them. So yeah, I definitely feel like that FOMO isn't like as strong as it used to. Well, it doesn't need to be as strong as it used to be. The way that these companies sell things and the companies like Video Game Plus are out there, you know, happily reprinting things and different things like that. That's my experience anyway.
All right.
I think the most shocking one was I don't know if you guys I don't even know we talked about this, but did you guys see that 1001 Spikes? They announced that they're going to be releasing, or they're going to say they said on October 1st, so 10/001, like 1001, they're going to release how you guys can get copies of 1001 Spikes on PS4 and Vita.
Oh, Vita too?
Yep, and they're right. Those are like holy grail games right now. They go for like ungodly amounts of money.
Well, it was never released. They only had
Correct.
a couple of press copies, and one guy sold it. I think he was trying to sell it for like I forgot what the price was, very high. And now this is happening, dude. Like he's not gonna be able to sell that.
The developer came out on Twitter like 5 years ago and said, "I've got copies, and they're going to be sold at some point. Don't buy these ones that have broken street date." And all these people went out and bought them for ridiculous prices.
They can't help it, dude. They got to have that flex. You know, look, I got this game.
You cannot print 5 copies of a game. Sony won't allow that. You have to print minimum 1,000. So for a game to exist, there has to be 1,000 out there.
Even for like a test print, like it has to be like you have to
do. No, I think it's 999 minimum. That's why That's why the number is 999 for so many games.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
So the 3 games that were like never released were 1001 Spikes, VVVVV, and then Binding of Isaac Rebirth on the Vita.
Rebirth, I forgot about that one. Yep.
And that's the one that I want more than anything. I would love to get Rebirth because that's a really cool version of Isaac. That's like an old version. That's before Afterbirth Plus and before the current one. So that's like 2 expansions ago. So it would just be neat to have that version. But I don't know if they've announced that they're like going to have those available as well. But people are obviously speculating that if they have the 1001 Spikes, why wouldn't they have those too? So it'd be really cool if they got released because, oh man,
they're going to do one at a time. They're not going to do them all at once. So.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool.
Well, I definitely wouldn't be buying a copy on eBay right now, I'd be waiting and checking Twitter and following, the people putting out the posts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep your eye on it. Should be.
Well, it's kind of weird, man. I mean, they pretty much said they were done with Vita games, but just to know that somebody else has a couple more Vita games ready to go on sale. And here's the thing, guys. So when they do this pre-order, is it going to be like limited buys or is it going to be unlimited buys, like or whatever like that? Like, how are they doing the copies of this game?
I honestly,
one per customer. You need bot protection set up and blah blah blah. Otherwise, it's just going to be a nightmare. But,
have you guys seen Squid Games?
Did they not season 2 finally?
No, I'm just saying that's what they're doing for the games.
Oh,
I'll be like, you have to buy an NFT.
How bad do you guys want? You have to buy an NFT. Yeah, exactly. Gosh, I mean, I don't know which is worse: Squid Games or buying NFTs. Ugh.
I wonder why the guy who at Nicholas wasn't able to get the game out like years ago, like the 1001 Spikes, because I'm looking at his website right now. It's got a lot of good titles on here that probably a lot of people don't even know have physicals. Like you got the Blade Strangers, which is a 2D fighting game. You got The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth on the PS4. He still has that for sale. Remy Lore, which is a game I liked on the system.
That's
fun, so a lot of people don't shop on this website, it seems like, because they're not sold out a lot of their stuff yet.
Yeah, dude, they were the ones who did Ikaruga.
Right.
I remember laughing because like you go on eBay and they'd be selling Ikaruga for $250, and then you could just go to Nicholas's website and buy Ikaruga for $40 or whatever it was. I was like, what the heck, man? Why is this the thing? Like, how come people just don't go to the website? I'm so confused. But I guess people don't know, or it is what it is. I see stuff like that all the time. You ever see I saw a post on Marketplace the other day. Someone's trying to sell like the sealed Final Fantasy games that you can get from Square Enix's website for like $350. I'm like, bro, you can just go buy these from their website. Like, what are you doing over here?
You still buy Ikaruga brand new for $106 from their $76 from their website.
Yeah, just the PS4 one, not the Switch one. I'm pretty sure that one's been gone forever.
Yeah,
but.
yeah, the PS4 copy. But still, that's like the big box version. Hang on, it's got the Switch version.
Do they? Maybe they reprinted it.
You might still buy the Switch version.
They might have done a reprint because they were sold out for like a long time.
Oh no, the Hydreigon version sold out. You can get the Metal Earth and the.
I can't believe people enjoy that game. I can't stand Ikaruga. I'm like, ugh.
Well, like you go on eBay right now, and the game will be selling for hundreds of dollars when it's in stock.
Right.
It's wild to me.
Yeah, shmups, shoot 'em ups, survival horror games, man. When those get limited prints, man, those are the ones that really seem like they skyrocket in price.
There's one for $250 sold.
Dang, dude.
That's what I mean. I'm just like people. They're taking advantage. They don't know, or they're lazy, or the only thing maybe they're like live in a country they won't ship to.
True.
I have a theory. Some people will only buy from their country. So, like I've done this before. I've bought in games from Video Game Plus that got reprinted, put them on eBay, and sold for like 4 times the price because the people buying them want to buy from an Australian person because I don't know, they've had dramas of international shipping before. They want their thing to arrive in 4 days. They want it to go through. I want it to go through this postal thing so I can see it. But there's people out there who will only do that, and that's fine.
Right. So something I wanted to ask you is I just found this out recently the other day. I was actually talking to Will, and you guys remember when Whatnot was popping? Like when people were like buying a lot of stuff on Whatnot.
Yep.
And they reprinted the Siberia for the collection for PS3 and another game called Painkiller. I can't remember what it was. People were selling the reprints as the originals. But I was like, what the heck is going on here, man?
They were selling the reprints as the game, and people were paying the regular price.
Which is insane. So I was like, dude, man, like people got to be careful when it comes to reprints, man, because these sellers don't even tell you. They're like, oh yeah, this is what it goes for.
Well, what was initially going on is the Whatnot seller was auctioning them, and people were bidding up for these games. So they weren't. He wasn't technically selling them. He wasn't making.
He's like, no, okay. So technically, he's not. Okay, I see.
That's where he was going. But I'm just doing my whatnot auctions. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just selling these games. He wasn't saying they're reprints. Wasn't saying they weren't reprints.
He let their FOMO take over for him. And
When he got asked if they were, he was saying that they are. But
So we were all over that though. We were cutting edge.
it was shady, but technically he didn't do anything wrong because
right.
We had Ricky Andre on here like an hour later, like, nah. It's like ridiculous.
Wow.
That was Dusty Games, the big warehouse, so they got like tens of thousands of brand new reprints of games and everything.
But
Yeah, it's just with the prices that people are paying for this stuff, man. It's got to be known. If there's a reprint done, and they usually put out stealthy sometimes, there's got to be some kind of difference in the cover, so people will know, so we don't get mixed up.
Well, I find that when a reprint happens, there's a crew of people on eBay or wherever who are all like flooding the market with all the reprints, trying to catch people off guard, thinking that they're buying like this expensive game cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's only a few days until everyone finds out. It always happens. And it happened to me once. I bought a copy of Class of Heroes 2G. Got reprinted, jumped on eBay. I bought a copy straight away. It was like $100 or something. But a few weeks later, you could buy it for like $79 from the retailer, because it got reprinted. So.
I mean, how do you guys feel about reprints, man? Do you think, are you happy they come out here and there, or do you think it's like once they're done, that's it?
I would prefer them to say like second edition on the cover, but the way I see it is it's better to have more physical games out there in the hands of people. They're not fake; they're real games. So
right.
I'm all for it.
People seem to go mad, man, sometimes when they can't get the games they want. I'm like, man, I've seen some crazy stuff in the Facebook groups. I'm like, wow, dude, like this guy really wants this game bad. And I'm like, dude, this is that lust, that craziness, it takes them over, man.
Yeah,
and then I made the mistake of saying, hey, if you get a copy, are you even going to open it? And he's like, nah. I'm just start laughing. But
why is that funny?
No, you know what I mean, man.
Why are you laughing?
It's like
supposed
man,
to get a copy to play and a copy to keep sealed. You got to shelf one and you got to play one, and then you sell one.
There you go.
And then,
do you guys think games weren't worth money? Do you think it'd be as crazy as it is these days? If they were just the retail prices, that's it. They just stay that value.
Games are now worth more money, and it has gotten crazy. So I feel like with the explosion of grading companies, investors getting into video games, video games becoming expensive, game collectors growing up and having money and spending more money on their hobby to get everything that they couldn't get when they were younger because they couldn't afford it and different things.
Right, and that nostalgia, pretty much. I feel like with the disappearance of physical media, which they're trying to push, do you think the collecting market will still be as crazy as it was? Like people still be trying to collect all this stuff?
Yes.
Everybody's collection will plateau. I mean, like gets to a certain point where you're kind of good, but you'll still collect sparingly or whatever like that. But do you think it'll be as crazy as it was like now still? Like people are just going after stuff? Like
that'll be worse.
I think it'll be worse because people will get older. Like imagine all video game collectors were all 65 to 75-year-olds who just retired with pensions and had all the money in the world, and all these auctions are suddenly going to go for a lot more money and different things like that. Or, those rare games that they need for their collection will become more just like the CD or the record scene of the past, or art scene or anything. You look at the most expensive items, and over time they're always going to become more and more expensive, assuming they're not reprinted or blah blah. But even if they are in like comic book scenes and stuff, usually you can distinguish a first edition to reprints, and there's price discrepancies and different things like that. I
just feel like physical media, I mean, we probably talked about this on the channel before, but physical media is just not what it used to be when it comes to newer generation games past the PS3 generation, where you're not getting everything on the disc. There's bugs and stuff like that. So a lot of physical is not worth what the previous was. I feel like PS4 and PS5, Xbox Series X or whatever like that stuff is just kind of like really weird when it comes to collecting, because you have the regular version, then sometimes you'll get a complete edition, even though they're trying to cut that out, or they'll sell a complete version with a download code inside. which annoys the hell out of me because this happened with freaking what's that? Cyberpunk 2077. The PS5 version, though they got all the downloadable content out for it, they still put a code in with the Blu-ray. But the Xbox Series X version has everything embedded on the disc, and that version will be way worth more than the PS5 version.
Yeah,
and
I got no interest in buying that PS4 version without the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing with that type of stuff, man. Because it happened with Sonic Origins recently. They said, "Hey, now we have Sonic Origins Plus, and we're going to give you the Game Gear games." Nope, not on a disc. They're a code, and there's so much space on a Blu-ray disc. You're like, why don't these companies just make the extra effort to do that? But I guess it's too much for them. It seems because they have no problem giving you a download code, and we know that kind of like really decreases the value of a game in the future. You know,
I'll give you a good example, Reggie, of a game that I had no interest in picking up because it was a download only, and now there's a physical with discs, and that was Baldur's Gate 3. Mm-hmm. There was a Japanese version, but it was still a download. And now that there's a deluxe edition come out from the company, I forget the name of the company that did the game. The Xbox version's got 4 discs, the PS5 version's got 2, and it's all on the discs. Like, that's exactly what we wanted. You know, I missed out on that I've signed up on the website for that second batch, so I'm hoping not to miss out.
I feel like these companies want to keep us connected so they know what we're doing. They're spying us. Oh, they're downloading the new DLC or whatever like that, so you can keep track. It just kind of really annoys me, you know.
Well,
yeah, man.
I gotta say, the company that did Baldur's Gate 3, though, I'm actually impressed at how amazing they handled everything about that game, because it was like, think about that. First of all, it worked day one. It didn't have like patches and stuff. I probably had a couple, but like it worked. It wasn't like a disaster. It worked, right. And they waited until it was complete to do the physical, and like that's all I ask. I'm fine with that. Like if that's the future now, where the digital game comes out and then we have to wait a year and a half for the good version to come out on disc, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah,
totally cool with that. You also got Game of the Year on top of that last year.
You know, I'll probably buy the game digitally and play it, and then just buy that physical copy just to have it, you know, in case I want to play it down the line. You know, I would do that. So I just think that's like a really, really cool thing the way they did it. Like that's like on this show when I talk about how I wish things happened, that's exactly how I wish things would happen. They did everything correct. So and there's no micro transactions and stuff in that game. It's just here you go, here's your game. I don't know.
Just 300 hours of amazing content.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, because I was with you, Figsy, where I wasn't gonna buy it at first because it didn't have like a good physical, but I wanted to play it. I was like kind of like, oh man, that sucks. That game looks really.
But you don't want to spend $100 on Steam.
No, but I did spend. I ordered that too. I ordered it. I'm waiting for it to come too. So I'm very excited about that.
Do you guys want to get into some pickups? I got a lot of games to show off.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Let's do it.
Who would like to go first?
I think Figsy wants to kind of wait till the end, maybe. Or
yeah.
He's got
or if you can.
No, I'll go first. All
right, let's go.
All right. Whew. All right. So, unfortunately, folks, thanks to Joe Rad, I got some bad advice from Joe. I ordered Aguilos off of Amazon.
What?
He told me this guy had the American one, and it came today. And I got the PAL version.
This is not what I said. This is not what I said.
Shout out to Joe Rad for making that happen. No, Joe. I can't do you like that, Joe. The right one came with the E rating on it. So I got Aguilos, the American version from a video game.
You buy that PAL copy just to mess with me, bro?
No, that's the one I already had. I just pulled it out. But yeah, we found Video Games Plus on Amazon, so I ordered it, the American version from them, but they have it listed as the PAL version, so got that one today, thankfully. So I'm wondering, did you open your copy of this one yet?
I kept that one sealed because I have it on the Switch, and that's actually where I played it. I played it.
I'm wondering if it has a book in it like the PAL version does.
I don't know. I haven't opened that one.
You got to take the PAL book out and put it in the North American.
I know, right, dude? But that's another cool one to have. My
That's
buddy,
a good game. If you guys like Sega Master System games like Monster
Mhm.
World or something like that type, it's such a good game.
it's definitely a love letter to those games.
Yeah.
Now, my buddy Jason went shopping in Japan recently, level 1 online, and he got some games for the Super Famicom for me. And the first one we got is Rockman 7.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, much cheaper than the American copy. So
No.
what I figured I was going to do was I was going to play this on a Poly Mega system, but those
Mhm.
systems are way too expensive, man. So they're like $600. So like, oh, that idea's passed. But you can play this on a Poly Mega in English, which is cool. So
Really?
Japanese, yeah, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, because you
100%.
can put language patches on that. That's right.
Exactly. So that's what was my plan for it. But then again, I know how the Mega Man games are, so I can play through them in total Japanese. It's fine. I got Mega Man X3.
Nice.
So you guys know how expensive that game is in America.
Mhm.
But Japan, we got 18,000 yen. So and then
That's
we got
a lot. No.
No.
oh, I mean 1,800 yen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say 18,000. Sorry, look, I have my glasses on, so I saw another O in there or zero.
I
Sorry.
literally wouldn't know either way.
and then we got Mega.
Is $111.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. And then we got Rockman X2 for 1,800 yen as well. So that's another one. Pretty cool to play on the Super Famicom system. What else we have here? We have this game here that I thought was some kind of weird vampire game, but I don't know what the hell it is. Yeah, it is a vampire game. It's called Dark. Now, I don't know if I can recommend this to everybody, but it is an uncommon game on the 360. Yeah, I don't think I can recommend it to anybody, man. I mean, these like reviews on it seem to be kind of fake, like they're like paid.
No.
You guys still there?
Yeah. Can you hear us? We can see you. Don't drop any F-bombs.
It seems like I lost.
We're still here, Reggie. This is weird. Well, okay, it's my turn.
Technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll show off some of the stuff I got. Oh my goodness. So if you watch the other podcast I was on, you probably saw most of these, but I got a whole bunch of stuff here. So let me see if I can do this here. Oh, is Reggie back?
Dude, that's never happened to me before. I was like, what the hell? Like this, I don't know, the internet just died or something. It was really weird. What
Well,
do
we can
guys
see
guys
you.
remember?
We
Yeah,
could
we can
see you
still
that whole
see
time.
you.
You were like,
Like,
you there? You were there.
yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
yeah, what's going on?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys heard everything. Cool. So yeah, Dark. I don't know if I can recommend it to everybody. It's just I know I can't recommend this to anybody, man. It's just if you would like weird games, then maybe you'll want this one in your collection. But all these reviews on there are like kind of like shills, man. Acting like this game is good or whatever like that. So get out of here with that crap.
Come on, video game reviewers, they would never shill or lie.
Yeah,
Be
no agendas,
dishonest.
man. Just
They're all just
Fake
hardcore
reviews.
gamers passionate about their craft. Okay.
So I got some more Game Boy games. Here is Gunship DX for the Game Boy. This one actually has Rumble feature on the cart, which is nice. So looking forward to talking about this one in the future here. If you like, this is more of like a gallery shooter, but it's kind of like it's like a top-down shooter. I would say like you're pretty much in an airplane shooting down at targets on the ground. So it's pretty cool, very arcadey like. Next, we got a game that was supposed to be released years ago on the Game Boy Advance. This is Kian for the Game Boy Advance. Finally got released 25 years later.
Those are cool cases.
Yeah, it's an action RPG from what I've seen of it. So it's nice to see like games that were kind of like put on the shelves, like get released years later. I mean, obviously we want them then, but better late than never, I would say.
Yeah, that was another cool limited one. They're doing that Ninja game from the Game Boy Advance. It's like $800 or whatever. Ninja 5.0.
They're doing that one?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. Pre-order's coming out for PS4, Switch, something
Wait,
else.
can you say that again? Just say it again.
Ninja 5.0 is getting released by Limited Run Games like tomorrow on the Switch, PS4, and I think PS5 as well. Yeah.
No Game Boy one though, right?
I don't know if they're going to actually do a physical Game Boy. They should. They should because
That
it's
game was
like
fun.
it's like $800 something or something. So yeah, that's the thing.
I'll probably pre-order that, man. Thank you for saying that again.
I know you like Game Boy
I need to-
Advance quite a bit, so yeah.
I need to hear it again. So I was like, oh man. Next game I got here is Sanctuary, the Mayor of Sanctuary. So that's another cool game for the Game Boy that I'll be talking about pretty soon here. And then we got Genesis Part 2. So Genesis Part 1 was pretty slow. Genesis Part 2 actually speeds it up a little bit. This is a shoot 'em up. So it's a vertical shoot 'em up. So, but the first one was really kind of like just slow. This one right here is a lot better. And also here, I'll show that one in a second here. We'll keep it going. I got Death Smiles, strictly limited off Amazon. I think they got this for like $60. So got the collector's edition finally.
That's awesome.
I love Death Smiles, man.
Me
too.
For that thing.
What was that, Figsy?
I said I waited 2 years for that thing.
Yeah, I know, man. I know they're taking their time. I don't even think Strictly Limited is doing pre-orders like that anymore, man. Like they're just. I feel like I don't know what's going on with them, man. And I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera either. It's like all blurry.
It's all good. Yeah, they announced a newer Rodland. They're doing a Rodland release.
Oh yeah, Retrobit. Yeah, I saw that one. All right, so now to move over to this stack here. I got a cool surprise at the end of the video too, guys. Oops, sorry about that. That was this thing making a sound. This is the item I wanted to show too on the channel. This is the first time showing it. I got one of those mini arcades. This is Frenzy from the people at New Wave Toys. So one of those cool little mini arcades
or something, right?
That's like orange.
Put on the shelf.
It's like covered in blood. That's awesome.
But these things got to. I mean, you can play on them for a little bit, but you're not going to play on them for hours and nothing like that. But they're just kind of cool novelties of the past of how arcades were. So replicas, pretty cool. I got this game called Feather. Have no idea what it's about, but come to find out, Limited Run did this. This is their 442nd game they printed out for PS4. So maybe I'm in for a nice, cool adventure. Then I got my first PlayStation VR game. You know, I have a VR, but this game is called The American Dream. Not Dusty Rhodes, but like just The American Dream. So you guys know Dusty Rhodes with the wrestler. Hopefully some of the chat know who he is. But yeah, VR game. Then we have Qual, another PS4 game by Limited Run.
That's signed?
Yeah, signed by the creators.
That's cool. I've heard that's I haven't played it, but like that falls under like horror. For some reason, that's categorized as some sort of horror game or something.
Yeah, it's like a gallery fighter role playing.
It looked cool.
Or
I picked it up a while ago. I never played it.
Okay.
But it did look really cool, I thought, when I looked at it.
Dude, I don't know what's going on with my camera here. This is weird. It's doing it again. Like, look at it.
It doesn't like the focus.
Yeah, this is like never happened on the stream like this before. It hasn't got this bad before. Maybe I need some more lighting or something. Let me switch the camera over here. Sorry. Okay, now it wants to focus. Great.
Well, you know what I've tried to tell you is because you don't have your bullet poster in the background that like keeps it from. You know
I know the bullet poster does keep it steady. You're right about that, man. Because it's never happened with that in the background.
That's what it is.
But the next one we got here is Batsugun for the Switch.
Oh, I love that game so much.
Great game. Yeah, definitely worth picking this up because the Saturn version is way too expensive. You don't want to buy that one.
That game's so good.
It really is. Then I got the title Milestone Part 2. Because they announced Part 3, and Part 3 has a lot of the games I want on it, so I had to support them. So I got that physical for this one. The game on here, I say, like most people want to play is Darius 2. So if you like the Darius games, Part 2 is on here.
Nice, yeah.
Then we got Ninja Jamaru for the Switch. Oops, hold that up again. Got it on Switch and PS4. So if you guys want to know what Reggie's Radical Ventures is based off of, is the Ninja Jamaru game, the last one they made for this one. So,
that's cool.
The NES one, I think it is, yeah. So definitely happy to have these. These were on sale on Amazon for like $14. I was like, hell yeah, why not? Then, of course, you guys know I've been playing. I just beat Alone in the Dark on the PS5. I played as Edward Carnby. Now I got to play as the girl. And It doesn't seem like it's really worth playing through again unless you unlock another ending. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. The puzzles weren't too bad. The game was compelling and kept me hooked, which I liked. It's very sad to hear about the company that's kind of like they got disbanded pretty much because the game didn't sell well. But it didn't sell well because they're charging too much for it. You can't just charge $70 for every game that's out there because you gotta do. This game should have been $50 to $60, man. 70 is just too much to be asking people because there's so many other options out there, and they're taking a risk on a series that hasn't been relevant in years. So I feel bad, but I'm glad we got a good game out of the series because it's been since 2001 since we got a good Alone in the Dark game.
I heard it was good. Yeah, that's what's sad about it is that it's not like it was like not that great and they bombed and like it was really good and then they still like went under. That's too bad.
Yeah, they did a good job on it, man. I was pretty impressed. The girl is kind of annoying the way she acts, but other than that, though, it's solid. And then I got a game here, a gallery shooter for PS1. Maybe Figsy's seen this game before, but got Gunfighter: The Legend of Jesse James for the PlayStation 1.
Nice.
This is a $10 budget game. It's a on-rail shooter, kind of like Time Crisis, but in the Wild West. The only thing with this game is, man, the character models are freaking ugly. Like, it's like, dude, like, you can't tell they're people, man. They look jacked up. So that's why it's easy to shoot everybody. But
because they're hideous. Get away from me.
They are. But you can hit some of the civilians too, so you got to be careful.
Now, here's my question: since it's Ubisoft, how much is the season pass? Is it like $185 to play Gunslinger? Like,
it would be if you didn't have a
is
physical.
there a gold super deluxe edition that comes with like a pair of chaps?
Well, the funny thing, Figsy, part 2, they made a part 2 of this game on the PS2, and it's only available in PAL. So only in your territory, man. Like
I've got it. I love the artwork on the front cover. I haven't played it. The artwork, it looks amazing.
Right on. And then I showed off a game on here called A Space for the Unbound for PS5. But originally I wanted the PS4 version. Yeah. So I had to go and get it off PlayAsia. So here's the Space for the Unbound PS4 edition. This one, I felt like the packaging is a lot better because it's not so big like the other one. They made the art look really big in the PS5.
Asian English?
Yeah, Asian English. Yeah, it's all English on the back and everything, man. So
run game box for the box.
Yeah, these boxes are way better for collector's edition. So in the PS5 version that we got in America, they made the soundtrack a digital code, which annoyed the hell out of me. If you're paying like $100 for that big package, they got to put some kind of physical in there. This one comes with the CD. Like PlayAsia doesn't mess around. They know what we want. When it comes to the like a manual, you're gonna have that. When it comes to like a soundtrack, art book, they're gonna have all that included, man, at the minimum. For those collector's editions. So this one's way better to get. The game doesn't really need to be on the PS5. It should have been on the PS4, but they, like I said, in America, they're skipping over the PS4 to the PS5. So I feel like this version is just a way better version to have. And last but not least, probably get some hate for this. I haven't showed this on the PlayStation podcast before. Yeah, I showed it in other places, but I also got one of the rarest games that you'll never play, and that is the Nintendo World Championship 35th anniversary.
Oh goodness, here we go.
Yes, dude. Oops.
Goodness.
There we go. Yes, dude.
Where it is.
Is this the new one that came out?
This is the new one that almost came out.
Almost came out. Official release.
They tried to come out with.
John and Hancock, Riggs and Hancock did a Kickstarter video for it, and the Kickstarter reached like 20,000, but Nintendo saw that and they're like, "Yeah, man, no way," and they shut that down. And then they started getting like hate for it, which was like crazy. I'm glad I didn't do a video because I was going to wait for them to do a video on it, and I saw the feedback for their video. I was like, "Yeah, dude," because how do you market something that's being sold for $300? Like, you know what I mean? Now, that's what they were trying to sell these for, and they had a purple cart for less. But I mean, I know when you're going off people's nostalgia, man, you got to make it affordable. You know what I mean? But there seemed like people that were interested in buying it for that price. They had people like ready to go for that, but it didn't work out. So I have one of the rare unreleased carts of that game. So
I definitely, there are tons of, the NES is extremely collectible. And I think like it's one of the most popular sets that people try to go for a full set for. So I feel like there's probably just a lot of people sitting on full sets of NES games that are just like a new NES cart, anything, I'll take it. Like, doesn't matter because they haven't bought a new NES game in 5 years. And so $300, whatever, like I could just see that. It's the same thing like for 3DS games, it hasn't come out in 5-6 years and the new one comes out, people overpay for it. Vita game, same thing. Like, that Binding of Isaac
game dropped a couple of years ago,
if that Binding of Isaac on the Vita was 300, sold.
Yeah.
Sold. Buy it.
Yeah.
What I mean?
So
it's
somewhat.
Yeah. So when you add I get it. And it's probably not worth it for 3 mini games of NES games, but I get it. People spend the money how they want. So
yeah, I feel like we were like kind of getting into that where the really hardcore collectors that like really completed an NES set. You know what I mean? They're the ones dropping that money. Because for me, man, I would just like, bootleg for me, and I'd be happy. I'm good to go. So
yeah, I mean,
that's it.
Nice.
That's it for me.
Very nice, sir. All right, we're gonna do a thing. I got the thing. I can share the thing. All right, for the first game I got is Project Warlock. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Basically, oh shoot, where is this one? I can't even see. Okay, yeah. It's like a first-person boomer shooter, I guess.
Oh heck yeah, dude! That's for PS4.
Yeah, this is on the Switch. It got released by Super Rare Games, so that's probably really expensive and hard to get. This was released through Limited Run, so it's not super expensive or anything. They had like their like warehouse summer sale or whatever, and so I've got a few titles from them that were just retail.
Okay.
And this is one of them. So I actually had this on the Switch, and I played it on the Switch, and I liked it. And I have like pretty much every of the boomer shooter type, the older FPS games that I know of anyway. There's probably more that I don't know about. And I just had to have this in my collection. There's a sequel to this too that's really good too, called Project Warlock 2. So
okay,
yeah,
right
it's a
on.
cool game. Love the art style. From I can't remember, information in my head's kind of fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure that this game was like made by like a really young kid who like wanted to make a game that he thought like would be like an old school style game, if that makes sense. So it's like some young kid's take on what a boomer shooter should be. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Right on.
Yeah. So I also got I got Mighty Switch Force collection. So another like set of games that I'm going for are like Mega Man style games in the PS4. So we were talking before the show. There's like every Mega Man game pretty much that ever got released is available on the PS4. So I kind of bought all of those collections they came out with. And then I started getting other games that are like Mega Man games. So I got like Metaloid and Metal Gal and, what else are the other ones? I don't even know. There's a whole bunch of them. But yeah, this is one of the ones I didn't have. This is Mighty Switch Force collection. And it's actually like 4 different games, like small little games. It's kind of inspired by Mega Man. It's not really like that, though. Just like the way the gameplay kind of looks. And then it's made by Way Forward. So it's pretty good. It's a quality title. And I've been looking for it for a while. So I'm glad to get it cheap. I didn't want to pay a lot for that. I also got this one we were talking about earlier. This is Still Wakes the Deep. So this is a horror game that takes place on an oil rig in the ocean. I haven't played it yet, but it's got extremely good reviews. A lot of people say it's really good. The only complaint I heard is kind of short, but it's not like a super expensive game. It's only $30, I believe. So that's fine. Like $30. If it's short, I'm fine with it as long as it's a quality game. I heard this is really cool. So yeah, Still Wakes the Deep. Looks cool.
Excuse me for a second, bro.
Sure.
Yeah, this Still Wakes the Deep, man. I'm still waiting, seeing if I could get one off Amazon, man. Amazon keeps on the PAL version for it. But Yeah, but that looks pretty cool, man. That's a unique release, and games like that don't need to be really long. They could be short
Yeah.
and sweet. You just that experience you want, that movie experience by playing the game sometimes is really cool because being out there on a I guess if you're like an old what do they call those things out in the middle of the sea?
Oil rig.
Rig, yeah. So you're out on a rig. That's already pretty scary because you're not really on solid ground. You're just on this rig, and if something goes down, some kind of crazy storm or whatever like that, that's terrifying to me. And the stuff that people hear out there in the sea when they're out in the sea, man, is probably pretty crazy, man. Like especially at night, if something goes down. I remember my cousin.
Creepy.
Yeah, I remember my cousin. He's in the Navy, and he told me a story about how they were on the ship. They heard like a lady crying out for help in the middle of the ocean. Like, what the heck is going on? And he turned their flashlights on, and it was like a seal, but still sounded like it was a person. So it's like really creeped them out. So that's why that game, I think, has a lot going for it in the horror aspect. So cool pickup.
Yeah, it's I think one of the most important aspects of a horror game is the location it takes place in, for sure.
Right.
So if
100%.
you do that correctly, you can use the atmosphere correctly to make it 10 times better. And I think that does a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool. This next one is called Super Zangura. Super Zangura, whatever. This is from Red Art Games.
Oh, I need to pick that up.
Yeah, dude. This one literally it was just one of those games where I just saw the art style and I was like, oh my God, I have to have this game. It looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like Popful Mail for some reason. It's not obviously the same, but I just, God, I love the art style. I think it's gorgeous. As far as the gameplay, it's sort of a Castlevania-esque, except it looks like she has some like a yo-yo instead of a whip or whatever. But it's basically that same style of gameplay. But as far as I know, it's not like Metroidvania. It's like an older Castlevania game where it's just like level-based and section-based and stuff like that. Yeah. And also, if anybody's interested, Red Art Games is having like a massive sale on their website right now. They're having their summer sale. So they have tons and tons of games, like super, super cheap right now. But you got to pay shipping from France. So you can get a lot of the games on VGP right now too, but they're not on sale.
Yeah.
So I did the math, and I think it's still cheaper to order them from France and have them shipped because it's like $12 to ship. And if you're going to buy like 5 or 6 games, half price, it's worth it. So
it's probably like a game to shipment ratio that's like if you buy 2 games, it's cheaper in the States, but if you're buying like 4 or 5, it's cheaper in Europe.
And then I got
Birds of Winter. Yeah, it's freezing.
I got Battle Princess Madeline.
Oh, I love that game. That's a fun one.
Yeah, so this is obviously very Ghouls and Ghosts inspired. Again, it came out on the Switch 2. This is the PS4 version. I have a feeling there might even be another version or a alternate cover or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. But yeah, this is the one where I got the Hole Punch. They sent me a Hole Punch version straight from Limited Run. Bastards. But yeah, it is what it is. Either way, I love Ghouls and Ghosts for the Genesis. That's like one of my favorite games of all time. I do like other versions of Ghosts and Goblins, but they're usually way too fucking hard. Like I even feel like the Super Nintendo one's a little too hard. But I don't know. I just play the Genesis one too much, but I can play that one really well. And this one kind of reminds me of that one more than anything. So yeah, this game's awesome. If you want like a Ghouls and Ghosts types game, I would definitely check this one out. Super fun. It's hard, but it's fun. And I got Rive. There's a Play Asia version of this with the blue cover, and this is the limited run version that came out with the orange cover. And I'm a nerd, and I wanted to have the orange cover and the blue cover, so now I have both.
It was one of the first Play Asia games too, right? It was like number 5, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty early release. This is a pretty old limited run games release too. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's like a twin stick shooter, basically, but it's like a 2D action game instead of a top down. But the way you aim is like with the 2 twin sticks. Some people categorize it like put it in with like a shmup-ish type game, but I really wouldn't call it a shmup. It's more like a, I don't know, just sort of like 2D action game. I don't know what to call it. I'd say it's more of a twin stick shooter than a shmup, but it's really fun either way. It's a great game. And the last one is Nine Witches.
I was thinking about ordering that one.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like, weird games. So this is like it's kind of like a point and click adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
The story of the back says, when an occult German WW2 division releases an ancient curse upon the world, a supernatural problem is going to require a supernatural solution. Take control of two heroes as they embark on a comedic alternate history adventure with a truly original story. So yeah, it takes place in like World War II Germany, and they summon some sort of supernatural thing, some occult badness. And it's kind of all I really know about it. I've never played it. It's just always intrigued the hell out of me. It just looks like a funny game. And yeah, I picked it up because it was not on sale, but only for retail.
I really enjoy point-and-click games, but I feel like they need to be played on the PC.
You're not wrong. I still just don't understand why you can't hook a mouse and a keyboard up to PlayStation 5 and use it. I'm still like so baffled by that. But I know why. It's because they want to sell freaking controllers. That's really
you can, and then they're banned because people use them to cheat in first-person shooters and things like that.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't. It shouldn't be cheating. You should just be able to use them. And if you don't want to use them and you'd rather use a controller and be worse, that's on you.
But you do it the other way around. You can use a controller on PC, and there's no problem. Just plug an Xbox controller in.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't get that at all. So.
But back on the PS1, we had a mouse. There's a PS1 mouse you can buy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's other consoles you could get keyboards for and play Phantasy Star Online, and there was tons of keys. So I don't know. It just seems crazy to me that in 2024 you still can't hook a keyboard and a mouse up to a PlayStation. Like I love FPS games with a mouse and keyboard. Like it's the one thing that I would just always rather play on PC. That's just me. But all right, you ready, buddy?
Oh, am I up?
Yeah, dude. Let's see this stack.
So this is an unrealistic pickup because I haven't bought games for close to like a year or so.
No, this is the new standard I expect every week.
So I went and pulled out and bought some Holy Grails and bought some things that you wouldn't usually buy. So yeah, we'll get into it with PS4 first.
No, this is the standard I want to see every week, Figsy. I want to see 7 Grails every episode.
Some of them aren't too exciting in no particular order. We have them fighting.
That's a Grail.
It looked pretty cool, so I picked it up. Same with this one. Time on Frog Island. This one actually looks like fun. So
that is a fun game.
Here's one I've been after for a while, and it was $19, so I'll definitely take that. Valkyria Elysium.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I played that game. That was a kind of a short game.
Here's one I'll check out because I like skateboarding Session. It's obviously not amazing because people don't rave about it, but I'll definitely give it a go. Okay, so I bought a bunch of games off my buddy Jared. Some of them, well, it was a pretty expensive package. I think the average price for 10 games was like $50, and they're all PS4 titles, so you can sort of work out that they weren't cheap titles. So the first one is Langrissa 1 and 2. This one's sealed, and it's the Australian version, which is quite hard to find.
I bet it is. That's hard to find. ESRB.
But just for consideration, there's one Australian copy on eBay. It's like $130.
Mm-hmm. That'll definitely be a valuable game down the line. That's like super, super niche. I just don't think a lot of people bought it.
It's Merica, and it was an early release for the PS4, etc. Next, we have Legend of Mana. This is the Region 3 Asian English version. I think this is the only one that didn't get a Western release.
think you're right. Yeah.
These next two I'll show together. So we have Legends of Heroes Trails to Azura and Trails from Hero. They're both sealed.
Yeah, and then the new one comes out tomorrow. I think it comes out tomorrow.
PS5 version.
Trails through Daybreak, whatever it is. I think it comes out tomorrow.
Jeez, man, playing all those games all together, man, it's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Here's one I will play at some point. I played the first one, and I'm looking forward to playing this one. And it is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Surprisingly, really hard to find and quite expensive. Here's one that I've been putting up for a while. I'm glad to get a sealed version of it. And it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Eyes of Heaven.
Nice.
We have Gungrave Gore, which I wasn't actually excited for, but I've only heard bad things about this, unfortunately.
It's a good game. That's a
play
fun
it on
game.
PS2, people say it's good. People who haven't played it, they don't like it. So
If you liked Gungrave on PS2, you'll like that game.
I might give it a go.
It's like an old school style game. It's not like it hasn't been updated for modern audiences. Let's put it that way. It's like just an old school action game, and I don't know. I could see not people not get into it, but it's good. I think it's a really good game.
I know these next two Reggie's going to be excited about. So we have Cotton Reboot.
Right on, man.
The second one is Cotton 2 and Cotton Bounty with Gundam Force from Limited.
Oh, that's the tribute one. Okay, right on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I didn't know they made it all three in one like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool pack, this one. And it was actually hard to find information on it. There's no copies online or anything. So
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so there's only 1,000 copies. It's number 149 out of 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if all the versions came with the extra game, or maybe just
no, they didn't.
Limited one.
Definitely not. That's the first time I've ever seen it like that.
Yeah, and that's like a Saturn game, that Guardian Force game. It's like it's an interesting one.
Okay.
So this next one, I got a Japanese and Power Release, and it is cool.
Yeah, I used to have that one. That's an interesting game, man.
Dude, that's collectible. I want to get that.
Is it collectible now?
Funny you say that, Joe, because this used to be on my watch list. And
yeah, maybe I should have kept it.
I remember last time it was like $30, and now it's like 110 or something.
It's just like there's like 50 million Japanese copies, and you might see like one PAL copy every like 6 months, and then it's usually pretty expensive. I mean, actually, what am I saying? That game sucks. Nobody. That's like shit. That's like scraping the bottom of the barrel. I wouldn't buy that.
Next title, the Dive Field Chronicle.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, I like it. Here's one that I've been up for a long time, and it's surprisingly hard to find. If the seller knows what they got, it's quite expensive, but you can find people just selling this as the regular version for like $10. And that is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the Zombie Chronicles Edition. Now, this comes with every single Zombies map up until Call of Duty's Black Ops 3, which, if you're a Zombies fan, is pretty cool.
So that's excluding the single player, though, in that version, right?
I believe so. I believe it's just Zombies in this version.
Okay. That's cool.
Which I only play Call of Duty for Zombies, so it's pretty cool. You get 8 zombie maps remastered in this, all with trophies and everything. But just go on eBay, search Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and like there will be copies without saying Zombie Chronicles. I'll just be selling them as the regular, and I ended up getting this for like $12.
Nice.
You can definitely pick them up cheap. But that's after searching for years and years and years and being like, I finally found one. Here we have one I've wanted for a long time. This is Assault Suit Lenos.
Yeah, dude. Cool find. Yeah, that's the Rystar edition, too.
I think you might have even shown me this first time I see it years ago. Yeah,
I did a video review on that years ago, dude. Like when I was doing reviews, it was like, wow, one of the first ones.
Last PS4 title, I did save the best for last. So I bought the limited rare game a couple of years ago, mystery game, and I luckily got the variant cover. And this
He's
is
lucky SOB. He ordered one copy, folks.
And got that one.
And he
So-
got the.
I'm not just that lucky. This is a cool story. So this arrived like 2 days before I left my house. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting the game, guys. No, I'm not getting it. It's just lost. I'm like, it's just a 50.
Yeah, and you can't contact them and even ask them where it is. They'll just laugh at you.
Send them emails. Exactly. I'm like, I spoke to the post office. They're like, just contact them and get us the tracking number. I'm like, this company doesn't work like that.
That's not how it works.
How are they even getting by doing like that?
I don't know. Because they've earned our respect.
Like, you don't know anything about them. They just ship it to you, and that's it, dude. Like, that's just
Yeah.
like, whoa.
They literally say stuff like, every time someone complains, I add 3 extra days to the shipping.
Well, here's a tip for people too, man. So, and if you feel sketch about ordering stuff like this, you don't know where it's coming from, you think something might happen, pre-order with a credit card, because if you pre-order with a credit card, if something goes down, you'll be able to get your money back immediately, or whatever like that. If you play with debit, you got to go through all these hoops and all that stuff. That's why I would pre-order with a credit card if I do pre-order.
PayPal or something like that, something.
Yeah,
like
they got your back, so. But you got it, of course, and you got the rare one, which is awesome, too.
Yeah, pretty good.
Couldn't believe it. He's like, hey, is this the rare one? He puts it in the thing. I'm like, yes, what the hell? How did you get that one? You ordered one copy. God. Man.
All right, moving on to
I'm not-
PS5.
I'm not
I don't really collect PS5, but
Not yet. You will.
see
You
what
will.
happens.
We should talk about
Like
this.
like Yoda says, you will. Like,
I think that if the PS5 ends up being the last freaking physical generation, it's going to be really collectible. But we're going to run into those problems like Reggie said about what's complete and what's not.
Yeah, well,
Not all of it will be collectible. Only some of it will be really collectible.
So here we have FIST, Forged in Shadow Torch. And it's a nice steelbook limited edition. I think it was like $9 or something. So
That's a good game.
I'll collect steelbooks in complete for $9. I definitely won't say no.
MJR, he recommended that game, I believe.
This is another sort of the same category. It was a Square Enix title. It was $19 for Spoken. I want to pick up all the Square Enix games. I'm quite a fan of them. So they've released so many in the last couple of years. Here's one that really surprised me. This was $65. No, it was $57 or something. And I looked it up on eBay and it was like $500. So I'm like, okay, I will buy it because I actually like the game. I want to play it. I've only played it on PC. I kind of want to play it on PS5. And that is Lies of P. And this is the deluxe edition, the Australian version. There's like 2 copies on eBay and they're like $500. So yeah, go figure. The lady at EB Games said it got traded in. The person who bought it traded it in like 2 days later. So the DLC codes are probably unused as well. It comes with like a soundtrack, art cards and everything, and it's all complete. So like I've played this. I really like it. It's a Souls game. I didn't finish it, and then my PC got hacked, and I lost my save. So I need to restart. So I'm going to restart on PS5, get all the trophies, and yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it.
dude.
Got a pretty cool edition that's apparently really expensive.
Do you guys remember RNG Gamer that we had on the show? He's been doing a
Yeah.
playthrough of that game. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to check him out and check that game out, it's pretty good.
Figsy, you just reminded me. Someone tried to hack me recently. I was like,
No,
what the
I
heck?
got done through a Discord hack, and yeah, it wasn't fun.
Ugh, God.
If you do want to play that though, it's on Game Pass, so you can get Game Pass pretty cheap and play it that way.
So that's one of those games where I've been like just waiting for it to go on sale. Like I want to get it, but it just hasn't gone on sale, so I'm getting nervous. Like when you say like, well, it's already these versions are selling out and they're going, I'm like, oh man, maybe this is just going to be one of those games that sells out and gets more expensive.
How you say that? This was $57, alright. The standard version was like still $70.
Yeah, it's like not on sale at all, man. Like
Because
I
it was
think the cheapest I
pre-owned,
saw it
yeah.
was like 60. I'm like, come on.
Next we have Sword Art Online, Last Recollection. I have every Sword Art game released, so I figured why not? I'll add this one to the collection as well. When I say I'm not collecting PS5, most of my PS5 collection is just JRPGs because I'm still going to collect JRPGs because I find they're always going to be collectible.
Yep.
I picked up some more cheap games here. This was like $9, and that is Slaycation Paradise. Welcome to
looks cool.
Slaycation Paradise.
My merge games, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked pretty cool.
What kind of game does it seem like? It's just like a survival game, maybe?
It's like a top-down.
Yeah, top-down kind of.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, like that World War Z game. Kind of looks like, but obviously the gameplay is a little different, but it looks like that style.
Okay.
Our final PS5 game is Siberia. This is the world before. I'm a Siberia fan. I mean, it was cheap because I'm assuming a lot of people aren't Siberia fans, but I love that whole like adventure style game. So,
dude,
I'll definitely pick a Siberia game up. And it's
everybody,
like a nice art book and everything.
Everybody became a Siberia fan when that collection came out. It seems for PS3.
Yeah.
Siberia.
Full book, so it's pretty cool.
That game is.
I was before the herd, Reggie, because I was going for that game when it was still like $60 when it was hell, and I ended up getting a second print, or not a second print. I was on back order, and they never got a next print, so they sent me a PAL copy. But being a PAL copy, I was like, sweet, thanks, PlayStation.
Funny story with that, man. I actually ordered the collection years ago when I was in school, and it came. And the back of the cover was scratched. So I sent it back and they sent me a new one. But they told me I could keep it, but I sent it back anyways. So now I feel like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like I was just trying to be, hey, nice guy. Oh, take it back, give it to somebody else. So I should have kept it and got my new one too. But yeah, glad you got that, man. It's a good game. The creator actually passed away a year ago, right when that game came out. So the series is kind of in limbo whether they'll continue it because it kind of was left on a cliffhanger in a way. So yeah.
I missed a couple of PS4 items, so we've got some box stuff. Boxed, it's just like
Alfred Hitchcock game. Yeah, the story is like based on Alfred Hitchcock.
Okay. Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo. This is only $9 for the slipcover version, and I love my slipcovers.
With the PS5 upgrade too.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So that's what me and Joe are looking at.
Inside it as well. So yeah, definitely what I want in the collection.
But it's still PAL and Australian copies. You guys get cooler editions. I mean, damn.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I'm really happy to have this one in the collection. And it's Mary Skelter Finale.
What kind of game is that?
Slipcover.
First person dungeon crawler.
Yeah, it's sort of like Darabirst, Dararompo type games.
Right. Oh, it's like that type of game. Okay, then maybe it might be interesting.
It's like Etrian Odyssey type shit. That type. But the game, like the story is more like Danganronpa, right?
I haven't played it, so I couldn't tell you. It's still sealed up. I got it like a couple of days ago. So I got some cool Switch stuff here as well. Yeah. This one was pre-owned, $57. I want to get all the Pokemon games. Something out of that.
Pikachu's voice cracks me up, man, because you don't expect him to sound like that, like he did in the movie. That just took me out, man. I think it's great.
Here's a game that just screamed Joe Rad to me. It is called God of Rock. It's like a
that's totally Joe
game with these type of characters. That's definitely like Joe's game. 100%.
I have that game. Yeah, I own it.
Yeah.
I want to get all the rhythm games on PS4, but there's actually some expensive ones. They're kind of hard to get.
Here's a series I really love, and this was $29. So I grabbed it, and that is Oddworld. So that's Oddworld Soulstorm, the limited edition. Comes with the game and the steelbook, and then this nice sleeve.
Okay.
And the final Switch game, I will play this one. It's a series I really like, and that's from the Rune Factory series, and this is Rune Factory Special 3.
Nice.
Rune Factory is sort of like Harvest Moon, and I believe they just reskinned it as Rune Factory these days.
Yeah, that's at the end. They add combat, so it's like like a Zelda type action combat, and then farming, and then relationships, and then there's like tons of stuff you can do in those games. I like games like that. So if you like games that you have just a list of things to do to keep you busy, those are good games.
Yeah, you literally play them forever.
Yep. Just put mad time into them.
Now we'll move on to the PS3. Yeah, I've got new PS3 games in my collection still. These came from Clean, who was on the show a few weeks ago. So thanks again, Clean. Here we have the Final Fantasy 13-2 duel back. This actually surprised me what it came in. It's in like a hard cardboard box. It doesn't fit on the shelf. I got to put it on a different shelf. It's pretty cool. I go for
Asian English release.
Yeah, you sort of see here. I got all the Asian English releases on PS3. That row there.
It don't fit.
It doesn't fit, and like it's a perfect spot for it too. So that's and then this is a grail that I've been after for close to a decade now. I introduced Clean to it. He's shown it on the show a few times, including this copy, and that is the From Software HD Visual Preview Disc. This was released in Japan in 2006 at like a From Software event where they invited like the public, and they had an undisclosed amount of copies of this, which includes the demo for Armored Core 4 and Enchanted Arms that they literally just gave out at this event. That was the only time this was ever given out. It was never technically sold. And copies have rarely ever showed up online. I've seen one on eBay in like 10 years. So yeah, it's definitely one that I'm very grateful to have in the collection. I love my Dark Souls From Software. And yeah, this is just one of those weird pieces that's From Software, PS3, kind of ticks all my boxes for collecting.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
I got a PS2 game here. It's kind of a holy grail. Yeah, I don't know how to keep following these up because these are all just bangers after bangers. So, here we have Rule of Rose on PS. This is a sealed UK copy. As you guys know, the UK copies were found and they're being sold. And it's all confirmed that they're legitimate. People have bought them, opened them up, proven that they're real. So I made the bullet and bought a copy because it's a holy grail. I want it in the collection. It's cheaper than what used copies were going for a year ago. I got it it was around 500 Australian. It's a sealed UK copy of Rule of Rose. I'm going to have this in the collection forever. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Will you ever open it?
No. It's already in a protected case. It's not leaving that case.
Good.
So those ones were like they were questioning the authenticity. That's the ones we were questioning the authenticity.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the strip seal on it, right?
People were able to contact the people that initially sold them and proven that they were sold, and they came from the original shipping boxes, and they have the official Sony circle,
the hologram or something on it.
Yeah,
right?
on the disc that no one's proven to fake at this point. They have the hologram on the case, and yeah, I mean, I believe that they're legitimate.
And that game did get pulled. I mean, it's totally possible that they just pulled them
on the sticker.
Yeah,
that's cool. Everything adds up, and it makes sense that this game was banned. So the company held their copies. They went into liquidation, sold their stock. Another company bought their stock. 20 years later, these copies have shown up. It's not like they would have been destroyed or anything, you know. And I feel like NBA Elite 11 will have a similar instance in 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and other banned games and different things.
Right.
You know, just because you're told to destroy something doesn't mean you're going to destroy it.
No.
We'll move on to PS1. So there's some holy grails that I've wanted on PS1 for a very long time. There's one set that sort of become a meme on this show. And you guys know I love my Sudoku, so I definitely had to complete the Sudoku set.
Dude.
So here we have Sudoku 1 and Sudoku 2, the Australian version. This set alone these games can be like $1,200 in Australia, so I'm pretty happy to have the two of them. I believe this one was $300 and this one was $500, so I'm pretty happy with what I paid.
Wow, the first one just kind of jumped up in price. The first game was like a 10-hour game, but what's cool about it is that when you beat the game, you can use your save data and port it over to the second game and get extra characters. So that's pretty cool, man.
I never thought I actually owned these because of how expensive they were, and I was initially just waiting for the reprint, but yeah, things work out in life weirdly, and you know, I had the opportunity to get them, and I'm pretty happy to have them in the collection. And we're still not done. We've got some more bangers to go. I'll say
Keep it coming.
It's hard to believe. So as you guys know, I'm going for all the Pokemon games. I bunched out a bunch more of them. So here we have Pokemon Art Academy on the 3DS. We have Pokemon Black on DS, OzPal.
I've actually just started looking into collecting for DS.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Insane how many games.
Ranger Shadows of Lima, OzPal. Being about the DS is it's region free as well.
Yeah, and there's like almost 4,000 games for it, dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, like 2,000 of them are like Mahjong, and 1,000 of them are kitty cat games, but still.
Yeah, speaking, I pay all my PS1 games on PS3 or PS2. I won't play a PS1. I prefer the PS3 because you've got the memory card saved in the hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to some older stuff. This is my favorite as a kid. I picked up a minty copy of Pokemon Gold, the Australian PAL version.
That's nice.
I've got some boxes on order from Amazon. They just haven't arrived yet. So I'll be boxing this one up in like a hard protective box. Yeah, happy to have it in the collection. I got it for a pretty good price. It's got the original Target sticker on the bottom, so I'm not going to take that off. And then the Holy Grails. This I got as a lot from a collector, all from his collection. It was an auction. I guess he didn't take really good photos, but I messaged him and he sent me dozens of photos, and they like blew my mind, and I couldn't believe he didn't put them in the listing. Yeah, we'll go one at a time. So here you have Pokemon Yellow version, Australian PAL. And these are all, like I say, he didn't include any of the side photos in any listings. These are all perfect condition, which is all where the value lies. So I got all three of these for $1,350 Australian, where I've seen some of these games sell for like $1,000. So pretty happy to have these in the collection. This one's already in a hard case. Minty condition, as you can see. Next, I'll show my jumper with this one because it matches. But we got blue and the jumper. But yeah, again, it's actually a minty copy of blue. Probably the nicest one out of the lot.
A friend of mine actually got those games recently. He got them loose, but yeah, those Pokemon games, it's kind of crazy to see like how much they're worth now. Like I would have never thought those games would have been worth as much as they are today.
It is crazy.
And it's not just the value. Like this can be a $300 game if it's in bad condition, or an $800 game if it's in like this type of condition. And then sealed is thousands and thousands of dollars again.
So that's one of those situations too where it's interesting because it's not like they're insanely rare per se. They were mass produced, but they're just so collectible. It's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. It's just everybody wants the damn thing. Yeah.
And then people who own them hoard them as well. So you'll find some people who have got 10 copies of all of them because they know what they're worth and blah blah blah. And the final one, probably the most exciting one to have, but fortunately it's not in the same like 10 out of 10 condition as those two, but it's still in like a 9 out of 10 condition, and that is Pokemon Red. It's not in the box like the other two. The sides are all perfect. I'll show you guys the little damage that it's got. It's hard to see, but the corner here has like a tiny imperfection. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up.
Okay.
I pick it up with my eyes. But yeah, I'm super stoked to have the original free. The Australian versions seem to be worth more than the PAL and North American versions. I'm assuming because our market's smaller here. That would be why. Same as like the French versions seem to have like a really high price because it must have a smaller release in a bigger market. But yeah, I've still got a long way to go getting every Pokemon game. There's a lot of Game Boy Advance games are quite expensive, and a couple more on the Game Boy Color, and there's a few more on the DS. But yeah, able to knock out the first three definitely makes me feel like I'm over the halfway point.
That's cool, man.
That's all we got, guys. I got lots more on the way, but yeah, these are the first pickups we got back. That was fun.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
man, you got
nice.
some bangers. You know,
Real.
I feel like my number one pickup though has to be the Aguilos American version.
Absolutely.
Finally got it, so pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Well, gentlemen, we're at the 2-hour mark. I think that was a pretty successful episode.
Yeah, pretty chill.
That was fun.
Welcome back, Figsy.
Very nice to have you back, Figsy. Very nice to have you again, as always, Reggie, for season 4, episode 1.
Yeah.
Also very nice for everybody who watched and chatted today. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Got some great numbers this evening. If you guys would like to follow any of us on any of the things, they're in the comments down below. X, Twitter, Instagram, all that crap. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll be back again next week.
Have a good weekend. Peace.
You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation Collecting Season. Come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song, gonna break it down. Gonna run this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready in a one more chance. You found the coolest place to be.